Hello, my name is Nato Puello. I'm a junior. I'm a political science major and adding on a philosophy minor.
My name is Jules Laredo. I'm a second semester freshman and I'm also a psych major.
My name is Emily Slattery. I'm a junior and I am a psych major with a gender studies minor.
My name is Jack Gatens. I'm a senior here and I'm a philosophy major.
My name is Alex Cardona and I am a former cinema and communications major. I graduated, so former. They still haven't sent me my diploma.
I came to the University of Hartford for a couple reasons. The first one is that I got into two schools, the University of Alabama and the University of Hartford. Two very contrasting schools. It was actually the speech that a former Dean Goldenberg gave about Hillier, which is I got the dual admittance thing, about really helping out the students who come in who struggled a bit in high school, which I did. And kind of instead of throwing us right into the deep end, the way he phrased it was, instead of putting them in the deep end on their own, you give them some floaties.
It wasn't my first choice, but I was a little last minute when I was applying to universities, and I decided this one looked reasonable and a reasonable distance away from where I lived in New York, but far away enough where I could be away from home. I applied to a couple colleges, and this one gave me the most for scholarships, so I went here.
I came to the University of Hartford because I did visit a lot of schools when I was touring, and this one kind of just felt the most realistic with how I could socially connect with people, I guess. So I definitely saw myself here when I toured this place the first time.
I came here because I actually really like it here, this was the last school I really got to tour, and it was only the third one. And I kind of fell in love with it, and then everything shut down, for COVID. And so I just went with it. I came here and I liked it. It was really pretty, it felt really nice. The community felt pretty good.
There's two in the sense that I like the film program itself, and that's what kept me coming back. But realistically, I went there because they gave me the most money, as do most people that I talk to on campus. I was supposed to go to UMass Amherst for a week up until the actual decision date, and then yeah. I wanted to figure out how to translate my wanting to go into filmmaking in more of a creative field into something more practical, I guess. And I think the combination that I chose with cinema and communication specifically, more so allowed that to happen than if I just went the cinema route.
To be honest, I don't know what I was expecting when I came here, but not anything that happened. I expected just make friends, go to classes. I expected just to live a normal live in a normal way. I didn't expect crazy things to happen or anything to be really interesting. I expected normal.
I don't think I was expecting anything really significant when I was thinking about my time here. I thought I was just gonna put in my 4 years and then go away and go into my future plans. But once I got here, I guess things got a little crazy, and it was a good experience at least.
It's hard to say yes that if the university cares about us or not, its students, because the fact of how there is so much that is done that you can tell is just a money grab. You know, especially with parking. We have a whole parking lot right by Conover, and we're not allowed to use it. So we have to park all the way in the back of N lot, which students have colloquially named Rape Lot, which gets very dark at night, and there are some cameras, but other than that, it's a parking lot.
The level of transparency between administration and staff, and then between administration and students, and staff and students, all of these, none of them are coherent, they don't make sense, they're not linear, they're not honest. They make you think one thing, but it really means another.
In terms of whether or not I thought the school cared about me, as a student worker, I do have to say my opinion was extremely biased. Because I do have to say I think UHart does not treat their student workers equally as fair across all of the jobs on campus. I think there are definitely more favored jobs by the university than others. And like, I've worked with people who are making decisions within the school body, and they're not always like fully in the students' interests. It's, you know, the school is just as much a business as it is a school, and I think that is one of its core issues.
As well as with Conover overcharging the hell out of all of their food. A cup of noodles ramen is $1.99. That is 99 cents at Target, you know? The biggest positives are kind of the dorm living situation a little bit. Mostly the apartments, not like Regents or any of the complexes. I've never actually seen anything that has on-campus apartments that are all like in like this kind of U shape. And that is a big positive because of the fact that it's like, I don't need to get a place close to my friends, because the fact that 9% of the chances, since we're upperclassmen, you have a group of 4, you will end up in the villages, or even if you end up in Park River or Regents, you're right here.
The best part about my time at UHart was definitely the time that I spent like in my own major, in the classes that I wanted to be in, and that's definitely like a generic thing just because, you know, you go to school to become better at something that you specifically want to become better at, but like also in the sense that like I felt as though the smaller communities within even just arts and sciences, I think even that small community was like a lot more significant to me than if I were to go to like a UConn or like a bigger school where it would be like, I felt like I was actually getting like one-on-one time with the professors, and I was actually getting that like smaller class experience without like being too small. Like, it's a good medium, and I think like they do advertise that, and that's one of the things that it actually does do well. Like, it's a very good medium between like a small school and a bigger university type of thing.
Definitely the people for me. I've met some of like the best friends I could ask for here, and it I'm really appreciative of it because I had a lot of trouble making friends back home, but I feel like here I'm obviously introduced to a lot more people around my age, and I just found the people I click with.
Definitely my top 3 negatives here would be facility issues, because these schools sometimes, like, there's way too many plumbing issues, there's way too many times where the showers will just explode, there's too many times where the bathroom will just, where all 4 floors of a building's bathrooms will suddenly just start flooding brown water mysteriously from the showers and the toilets and the everything. My second has to be cost of things on campus. That's really, it feels random, but it's a big problem because I hate how overpriced everything is here, because it's just incredibly expensive and it makes living so much more difficult than it needs to be. And my third would have to be, again, weird, parking. There's no parking on this campus anymore. I don't even drive, and it's a problem for me. I don't have a car, but it's an issue.
And it just made everything a little bit more difficult, and I feel like it didn't need to be. And I feel like that was a lot of my experience at UHart, was just things being a little bit more difficult than they needed to be. Everyone is so invested in their specific departments that you don't care about the school. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a cinema student, now I'm a UHart student. Most of the issues that I'm talking about have been like, they're definitely not just UHart specific. I think they're just American college.
I think these problems are American college institution issues. Of course, every college is different into what they have specifically, like how their budget works, how their public safety works, how all this stuff works. Everyone is different. But I think if you go around and you interview other students, they'll all start to sound kind of the same come to a certain point. That you feel like the administration doesn't care about you, that you have to take too many agendas, that it becomes kind of confusing on how to get out of here on time. And how you feel like you're paying more than they're helping you out with.
So how would I change this campus? Title IX holding students to a little bit of a higher standard. Don't assault people, don't stalk people, you know, like that's kind of common sense, but they're just like, when you come to them and you're like, oh, I have this issue with this person, I don't feel safe on this campus anymore, I kind of want to leave, they're just like, okay, we'll talk to them, have a good day. That's it. Like, we're here for classes, but our safety should be number one, and I like firmly believe that.
If I had any real power here at the University of Hartford, first thing I would probably do would be having the department heads and all of their staff have a conversation with their students and those all in their programs. I feel a lot of the times we don't even know who we're emailing, who we're supposed to be talking to, who we're supposed to get in contact when we have a problem with this or this class or whatever.
How I would fix UHart in a couple ways is I would bring up, we're trying very hard to become a nursing and engineering school. And I can appreciate that because that is what brings money to the school. But you know, you spend $600,000 on a new building that we don't really need when you could just upgrade the older buildings, you know? And you take that funding from that new building and I would split up between the smaller programs.